Okay, so we're just going to get a bit more practice with the else if statement. Let's just do one where we're testing for the day of the week. Don't worry, we're not going to do like Monday all the way to Sunday. We'll do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll have an else block where, it's basically the weekend, right? I assume you don't work on Fridays, right? Okay, so how do we do this? Well, let's create a variable. We'll say let day of week, and we'll assign it the value of Thursday. And let's begin our if, and else blocks. So we want to say if day of week is strictly equal to Monday, we're going to run a piece of code. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have our else if day of week is strictly equal to Tuesday, we'll run a piece of code. This is just good practice. This is why I'm making you suffer. Else if day of week is equal to Wednesday. Can I type it out correctly? Wednesday, awesome. Then we're just going to have an else if for Thursday. And what you'll notice is the great thing about the else if statement is you can have multiple else if blocks. So we're going to have one if statement, if that condition is true, then our multiple else ifs, and then finally an else block at the end, okay? Uh, Now, obviously, if you were to test for, let's say, the months of the year or where there's a bit more, you probably want to use a switch statement as well. And don't worry, we will cover that later on in this course. You have my word. Okay. So for each one, then we'll just log something out of the console. So we'll say console.log, semicolon to end statement. We'll just paste these in here. I'm just going to use the tab just to indent, just to make it a bit easier to see what's going on. Hope that's easy to read. Okay, so if the day of the week is equal to Monday, we're just going to say, oh my God, a full week of work ahead. And then go like, no, like Eric Cartman in South Park, no. Console.log, if it's Tuesday, say, I'd like to get coffee on Tuesdays. Maybe you do. Personally, I have coffee every day. Wednesday, you might say, I meet my friends for a midweek beer. Thursday, you might say like, "Oh my God, OMG, it's the weekend tomorrow. It's the weekend tomorrow." Else, you might say, "Well, it is the weekend. It's the oh sorry, it's the effing weekend." We can't say that. We gotta be professional. It's the weekend. Woohoo! All right, no cursing in this tutorial. Okay, so what's going to happen? Well, we've created a variable called day of week. We've assigned it the value of Thursday. And now what's going to happen is we're going to enter the entire else if statement just to test multiple conditions and find out which day of the week it is. So we're going to come here inside of this part of the if statement and test for is the day of the week equal to Monday. That will evaluate to false, okay? Then we're going to do our test, and remember, if that evaluates to false, the condition, the code inside of the code block does not run, so that's not going to log out of the console. Then we're testing if the day of the week is equal to Tuesday. The day of the week, the variable is Thursday, that's what we're testing for, so that is not going to run. Then we're testing for if the day of the week is Wednesday. It's not. Then we're testing for the day of the week is Thursday, so that's what's going to log out of the console. Oh my God, it's the weekend tomorrow. Else, then we just log out. It's the weekend. Woohoo! So if I just save and refresh, what do we get? We get, oh my God, it's the weekend tomorrow. You could change that as well to be, what if we change it, let's say, to Tuesday? What's going to happen? Let's have a look. So Tuesday. Well, then what should happen is we just log out. I like to get coffee on Tuesdays. Okay, so again, we enter the else if statement that evaluates to false. This evaluates to true, this else if here, so that's what we log out to the console. We get, I like to get coffee on Tuesdays, okay? So if condition evaluates to true, we enter that part of the code block. I like to get coffee on Tuesdays. Awesome. And then just for practice, what happens if we are testing for the day of the week, but it's an empty string? Well, what's going to happen? All the conditions will evaluate to false until we get to the else. So by default, it's the weekend. Congratulations. Okay, guys, that's awesome. Um, as I say, we've now covered the if statement, the else statement, and the else if statement. So just for recap, the if statement is if you want to check if something is true, if some condition, and then we have our code block there, okay? But you're only testing if something evaluates to true. So if you want a bit more power, you want to do a binary test, like has someone paid for a Netflix account? Are they sober? Do we let them into the nightclub? Are they a certain age? We give them a discount on insurance. Then instead of using the if, what you want to do is you want to use the else statement, where you have essentially the if and you have the else. And then if you want to test for multiple conditions, you can do that by having the else if and then the else. Okay? So for example, who has won in a game, the computer or the human? What day of the week is it? What month of the year is it, etc. But you don't want to make these things very long, so a switch statement is better in that scenario. Okay, that's awesome. I'll see you in the next one.